So this was an incident that actually happened in my neighborhood, a neighborhood that you guys have seen probably more than any other neighborhood on my channel, and that's Lakeview. But in the eastern part of it, over by Belmont and like Broadway, and actually the incident continued over to Diversey, and this isn't actually the area that they refer to as Boys Town, which is where the gay community in Chicago is at. All the gay bars, all the gay shops are over there and stuff. The gay, the gay, when they have the gay pride parade, it's over there. I am in like the western part of Lakeview. I typically don't go over to that spot like all that much, but you guys have seen it because there's like a park over there, and I mean, not everybody over there is gay. Like there's other stuff going on there besides just that. There used to be a Walmart over there that closed, but anyways, federal prosecutors have charged 3 men, and this was actually yesterday, the time that I'm making this video. I'm making this early Friday morning, with murdering a rival gang member as he drove in Lakeview East more than 4 years ago. So this is a case that happened actually 4 years ago, and Lakeview is crazy like that, man. Like it's a neighborhood where there's a lot of like young urban professionals that make quite a bit of money, but there's like, I would say, kind of a lot of violence, man, because like I remember, I think it was like a month ago, there was like 5 people killed here in like 1 week, and they were all innocent and all just robbery related stuff. And there's gangs here, like this is the motherland of the Eagles, the Latin Eagles. And then there's a couple of insane deuces, Latin Kings are over in the Lathrop projects. I've showed you guys those a bunch of times. So, I mean, there's still some of that stuff that goes on. But anyways, 4 years ago, the accused men had killed a 30-year-old named Victor. And they may have gotten his age wrong. I don't know actually which report got the age wrong. Other reports said that he was 38. He looked closer to 30 than 38, though. Anyways, they said that they had killed him to maintain and increase their positions in the Ambrose street gang. And that charge is one that I kind of dispute myself personally, because to maintain and increase positions like these gangs, I don't know how much the Ambrose really have positions. Gang violence is just gang violence. You know what I'm saying? It's not, this isn't like back in the day, you know what I'm saying, like in the 90s where guys were trying to get rank and stuff like that. This is kind of different than that. So anyways, at the time of the shooting, Chicago police said that Victor and the other occupants of a Chevy Tahoe got into a, quote, altercation with a group of people in a Dodge Magnum in the 3200 block of North Sheffield at around 2:30 a.m. on June 17th, 2019. So this is over by Belmont and Sheffield. And this is not too far. It's like maybe about 4 blocks away from Wrigleyville. So again, this is like it's like a young people party area, like gay area. I mean, this is like not the typical area that you would expect that type of thing to happen. But there is actually a gang of GDs over there. But this didn't involve them. Ambrose is a gang that, as far as I knew, only spot they had was on the south side. That's why this was really weird to me, man. I don't know. Maybe they have a spot up north that I just don't know about. But yeah, as far as I knew, the Ambrose were only out south. But I don't know. A portion of the argument was captured on CPD surveillance video as the cars rolled south through the intersections of Belmont and Sheffield. So I'm showing in this video like the distance between these two locations, and you can see it's quite a distance. I mean, we're talking like almost 4 blocks. Somebody in the Magnum pointed a gun at the SUV. Both vehicles then sped off, with the Magnum chasing the Tahoe. Now, just an added side note that I should mention, guys. Victor was a Latin king. His street name was Pigeon. Okay, how he got that nickname, I don't know, but anyways, so minutes later, as the vehicles headed south in the 2900 block of North Broadway, somebody in the Magnum fired shots at the Tahoe, striking Pigeon in the head and shoulder. Investigators found shell casings along a stretch of Broadway that during daytime hours is a bustling retail, restaurant, and residential corridor. And this is according to CWB Chicago. But you guys can see the visual in this video. I was too lazy to walk over there. It's actually only a few blocks from where I stay, but it's cold outside right now, so forget it. I'm just using Google Maps, and you guys can see it's pretty busy. I mean, I'm making this video like in the middle of the night, so there wouldn't be anybody out now anyways, but you can see during the daytime how busy it is, man. So the driver of Pigeon's vehicle took him to St. Joseph's Hospital, where he died. Chicago police said the driver was uncooperative with investigators at the hospital, so he did not snitch. And today, yesterday, federal prosecutors accused Chicago men, all of whom have significant criminal histories, of carrying out the murder. So, a guy named Juan, he's 23, and two 24-year-olds, one named Victor. The victim's name was also Victor, but the one of the offenders' name was Victor, and a guy named Cameron. Juan and Victor are Hispanic, and Cameron is white. You guys can see in this, I'm putting up the mugshots here. We're scheduled to appear for a detention hearing, and that should have already happened by the time that I'm making this video. So they're charged with murder in the aid of racketeering, a crime that carries a mandatory life sentence upon conviction and could result in the death penalty. And U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago said that. And Cameron is also charged with illegally possessing a handgun. So they could get death for this. This is the feds, I believe. And in the 2 weeks following the murder, Chicago police arrested all three men separately for firearms violations. And CPD records indicate that all three were eventually convicted in those cases. Victor, the offender, was on bail for a felony gun charge and fleeing and eluding at the time of Victor, the victim's murder. He's the 19th person that CWB Chicago identified as somebody charged with shooting, killing, or trying to shoot or kill somebody in Chicago during 2019 while awaiting trial for a felony. So the Ambrose kill a Latin king. Very interesting. And a guy who was like significantly older than them at the time, about 10 years. But that just goes to show, man, I've gotten comments about this on some of the videos talking about, like the younger guys don't have beef with the older guys. Oh, yes, they do. That's what's going on. I mean, listen, I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying what it is, man. There's guys out here that are in their 40s, 50s, into it with guys that are in their teens. Like, it's up there with anybody and everybody. Like, if you're with it, you can get it. I mean, that's just what's going on here, man. Like, I'm just passing the word along to you guys, man. That is what's going on out here in these Chicago streets. You can look at it like this, okay? When I was working in the schools, like, I started off when I was 22, 23. I had got, like, kids in my class that were 17, 18. That's only, like, a 5-year age difference. And we had to maintain, like, a professional distance. I mean, like, we couldn't be, like, homies with them and stuff like that, even though, like, 5 years isn't that big of a difference. Definitely you couldn't get involved with any of the females, even though a lot of times, between students, they're like 18 and then teachers that are like 22. I mean, there's like attraction there, you know what I'm saying? But you had to keep that distance because it's like there's some law. If you're like in a position of trust over, somebody, I forget exactly what the law is. You can't do that, okay? But if you're like 20 years older than the dude, okay, the rules in the streets now, you can kill them. You're expected to kill them because they're a rival gang member. There's no boundaries in the streets, man. Like, anything goes. So that's what's going on, man. So anyways, rest in peace to Victor, the Latin king. And I don't know what the altercation conversation, what exactly was said. See, I don't think there's Ambrose anywhere near that neighborhood. I really don't. Anybody who's an Ambrose or who's, familiar with that, you guys can let me know in the comment section, but I've never heard of Ambrose being around here. So how did they know he was a king? You know what I'm saying? That's really kind of interesting to me. And, any Ambrose I would think would have to be from out south. It's weird, like, sometimes you see these gang members meeting up in, like, totally different parts of the city from where their hoods are at, and then the violence goes down over there. So, yeah, it's just weird, man. But, yeah, anybody who knew them personally, you guys feel free to hop in the comments. But, yeah, that's how the gang life goes, man. You get taken out by somebody that's to you as a shorty in a totally different part of the city. Because there's not Kings or Ambrose anywhere near there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the Lathrop homes that I showed you guys where the Kings were at, that's all the way at Damon. Okay, this is all the way at Broadway or Sheffield. Sheffield is like, I think it's 1000 west. Damon is 2000 west. So we're talking more than a mile west of that. Like, that's not even close. So, but yeah, it can go down anywhere, man. Lakeview too. And it's your boy, Chicago News. I'm out.